Welcome back. You're still with us on Startup Street. Beauty and skincare brand Plum expects to turn profitable at the EBITDA level by the last quarter of this financial year, given high operating leverage in the industry. Speaking to my colleague Shilpa Ranipeta, the founder and CEO of Plum, Shankar Prasad, said that they are operationally profitable currently, but marginally negative at the company level due to experimentation and expansion activity across the board. He also said that they expect to clock 700 crore rupees of net revenue by FY24 and that they are already seeing signs that this festive season will be a blockbuster one. Take a look.
I think this season is going to be a blockbuster by all means, and we have already seen early signs. We have, in July and in September, we have sales on the online channels, which sort of precede the offline stuff that will pick up now, starting September. From whatever we are seeing, our targets of 2.5x over last year, we are able to achieve them. And consumers are now willing to experiment a lot more, look at new categories, and be part of brands that they trust and they love. And so being in the right place at the right time is important for brands to capitalize on the season.
Right. And I wanted to understand with respect to your offline and online mix also. Of course, you started as an online brand. Currently offline, what's the kind of presence that you have? Give me a sense of your store expansion plans also. And what's the revenue sales mix for online versus on offline?
So we are today about 60% online, 40% offline. That 40% comes from about 1,200 assisted sales points inside of, let's say, beauty and cosmetic stores, departmental stores, big grocers, which are assisted points. Unassisted points is currently 12,000 and counting. Our aim is to take the unassisted number to closer to 40 to 50,000 over the next, let's say, 8 to 12 months, for which the plan is already afoot. In addition, we have our exclusive outlets, which we started doing last year. I'm happy to report that we are now about 12 stores and expanding at the rate of 2 to 3 a month. We are being selective about where we open. Otherwise, there are lots of places we can open stores. We're being selective about where we open, and I think getting to a number of around 30 by this financial year end seems very doable, and 50 by same time next year is where we will be. These stores are as much about experiencing the brand as they are about a source of revenue for us.
Correct. So, that's a lot of aggressive expansion plans that you have lined up. Wanted to understand what is the situation with respect to funding. Are you flush with cash right now, or will you be looking at raising funds? And have you seen any impact from this funding winter that we're talking about?
Right. So we closed our Series C about 6 months back, somewhere in March or April. And I think we are now well capitalized to make use of the opportunity that is in front of us. The opportunity is what excites us the most in terms of what's possible in the beauty and personal care market in India. As far as capital is concerned, we are well provided for. As it is, we run a business model which is not very cash burn intensive. For us as a business, cash is not a constraint at the moment. Coming to the funding winter question, I think funding is yet not a problem for businesses which are thoughtfully run. Right. Definitely very hope-driven funding, I think, has taken a back seat. But for strong businesses, I think capital is yet still not a constraint.
Right. What's the kind of annualized revenue you're clocking at this point, and what are your targets for FY23? And are you operationally profitable? Are you profitable at a company level? Give me a sense of that.
Sure. We are operationally profitable, marginally negative at the company level because we are undertaking a lot of experiments with new categories, new channels, lots of new expansion that's happening across the board. And therefore, we are comfortably positive at a CM2 level. At an EBITDA level, we are slightly negative, which we are not too worried about. But we have to balance growth and profitability. In terms of the other question was about
the revenue.
The revenue this year we hope to close at just above 400 net revenues. At a run rate possibly was 500, and from there on FY24 looking at a 700 does not seem out of the question.
And you said that though at an EBITDA level you're still negative, you're not too worried about that. By when do you think you'll turn profitable? A rough timeline. And also wanted to understand, a lot of D2C brands, startups going the IPO route. Is that something that's on the cards for you?
So the second question is easier to answer. Our approach is build the right business. IPO and other corporate actions are, it's part of the story, it is not the story. In terms of EBITDA profitability, our belief is that given the high operating leverage in this industry, we should be able to by the last quarter of this year or early next financial year, we should be able to move to EBITDA positive without giving up on the growth ambition that we have. We could turn EBITDA positive today if you wanted to very easily. But we just need to make sure that we are calibrating growth properly and doing the right things in terms of setting the brand in the right context in the eyes of people. And that takes a lot of experimentation, which we have today unleashed. So I think we'll just let these experiments run. And some of them will, I'm sure, grow into successes, which will give us the next wave of growth that we are looking at. So in terms of EBITDA profitability, maybe we are 3-4 quarters out and not beyond that.
So what's going to be your growth driver? Because you have hair, you have skin, you have makeup, you have a men's grooming brand as well. Which of these do you really think? And do you any new category extensions, new brands also that you're eyeing?
So the easy answer to your question and the true answer to your question is that all of these are seeing growth. They are at various stages of development for us. Skin is a slightly more, as far as new categories go, again, there is so much growth and that we see in these 5, and these cover largely a fairly large part of the purchase basket for the consumer, that we don't see the need to do too many new things. But if we come across something opportunistic, we'll probably end up doing that.
With that, it is a wrap on